Hello and welcome everybody to part 2 of Game 1 of oGsEnsnare versus LiquidTyler. If you saw Game 1, we saw a nice little early aggression from LiquidTyler where he managed to contain oGsEnsnare for a short time to one base and managed to get a lot of early worker kills. oGsEnsnare was forced to pull a lot of his workers off the line to defend that, and LiquidTyler managed to pick up about 13 worker kills. Picked up another one later on, but he managed to get a lot of worker kills, and ever since then his economy has just been booming. He is still ahead in the harvester count, 49 to 39. Both players constantly producing those workers, so both players macroing well, but LiquidTyler, just because of that early damage that he did, he was able to just get way ahead in the food count. Currently the food count is at that 131 to 154, favoring LiquidTyler, and a lot of forces here moving out for oGsEnsnare. Does have a couple of medevacs now added to the ball of Marine Marauders that he is now producing. And looks like this factory oGsEnsnare has in a forward position to try to scout the army of LiquidTyler, and Tyler just moving in right now. It looks like oGsEnsnare is actually going to be going for a big attack from the back. LiquidTyler, an EMP did go off and get a lot of the shields on those zealots, but these forces from oGsEnsnare are moving in from the back. That Ghost is in a good position to get a good EMP off. He doesn't want to get another EMP on those same zealots, and he manages to get another good EMP off. Doesn't get as many units as he clipped that first time, but a lot of forces went down, and I'm not sure about this engagement from oGsEnsnare, because he was forced, now he's cornered into a wall and forced to fight in a fight that he really didn't want to fight in. He does have some forces here coming in from the back. Two Vikings here dealing a lot of damage to those Colossi, and oh my god, oGsEnsnare might actually clean this attack up. This is a lot of Marauders here on the field for Ensnare, and Marauders tend to do very well. Oh no, but there are a lot of Zealots here being warped in from this pylon here. From the back, looks like they just did get picked up by those medevacs, and they are moving out, and it looks like that medevac is going to go down, but more forces are moving out. A lot of Marauders here for oGsEnsnare, and he needs to not be engaging here. He's going to try to snipe that Colossus, which I think would be a pretty decent trade, sniping that one Colossus and then just stimming and getting the heck out of there. That was a nice little trade there, nice little pick off by oGsEnsnare, and it looks like he's now going to be pulling back to some reinforcing Marauders that we've got on the field, and it looks like those forces of LiquidTyler are moving in. Looks like he's going to be trying to go for a little bit more pressure, but these Marauders are going to be able to stop all these forces pretty easily. I think those Zealots are soaking up a lot of damage for these Stalkers, but this is just a lot of Marauders with these medevacs that still have a good amount of energy to heal. I think Ensnare is going to be able to hold this off pretty well. Looks like that he is indeed trying to snipe some of those Stalkers off, try to get every last kill that he can. Nice little engagement here for Ensnare, managing to catch some of those Stalkers, and it looks like none of them are going to be able to escape thanks to that concussive shell ability of the Terran forces, and oGsEnsnare actually now pulling ahead in the food count. If we check out the food count right now, it is 86 to 73. I wouldn't be surprised if LiquidTyler is still ahead on harvester count. Yes, indeed, 49 to 39 harvesters. LiquidTyler is still up, but on the food count on that last fight, looks like oGsEnsnare managed to get ahead of the food count there, managed to do pretty well in that last little fight, and LiquidTyler is now forced to macro up some forces, producing a lot of Zealots right now. He knows that his opponent is going very heavy Marauder, and that Stalker is not going to be the best counter to that. He does now have that Zealot charge, so he's going to be able to charge up to those Marauders and not be kited by that concussive shell ability, and he is now taking a third. And now this is an interesting choice of third. I'm actually kind of surprised that he doesn't take this base as his third. This base is very, very far away from Ensnare, and he's not going to be able to attack this third easily. But instead, LiquidTyler looks like he's going to be taking this base in the middle of the map where he can, I guess, I don't know if it's easier to defend or not. I would say that this is actually a little trickier to defend, so I don't know that I like that choice of third for LiquidTyler, but oGsEnsnare does have this one taken, so this does have the benefit of being kind of a hidden expansion for a little while. oGsEnsnare getting the stim off, picking off a lot of Colossi coming from the back. This is going to deal so much damage. If he manages to snipe those Colossi, this force is not going to be able to deal with this many Marauders. And no, indeed, oGsEnsnare manages to pick off those Colossi, instantly dropping LiquidTyler's food count down quite a bit. 108 food to 85 food right now. favoring oGsEnsnare, and oGsEnsnare just has a lot of these 1-1 Marauders that are just dealing massive amounts of damage to these forces of LiquidTyler. Looks like he is trying to kite those forces as best as he can. He has a few Vikings on the field, but more forces now moving in. Nice little mix of Marines and Marauders now. This is going to be a much better balanced force against the ground forces of LiquidTyler, and it looks like LiquidTyler is falling farther and farther behind. He did take that third, which means that his army count was just a little bit behind, while oGsEnsnare stayed on that 2 base, and this allowed him to get ahead in the army count, and he really took advantage of it with quite a nice little timing attack there, where he managed to catch LiquidTyler's forces off guard as they moved out into the middle of the map and was able to snipe off those Colossi. So very nice play there by oGsEnsnare, now putting him in a very good position to win this game. Now taking his third, he knows he's ahead. He's now going to just try to take his third, try to play safe, play defensively, macro up some more of these Marauders. In his base, he is producing some more Ghosts. No more upgrades going down, interestingly enough. I would almost expect Ensnare to be going for some more of those upgrades, since he is sticking with that primarily Marauder and Marine force. And is Ensnare going to see that Observer? No, it looks like he did not see that Observer. Did not. I was expecting a scan there to go down from oGsEnsnare, but looks like Tyler sending in this Observer. He has now scouted that Ensnare is expanding to his third, and so he is now responding to this heavy Marauder count with Immortals. That's kind of an interesting move. Immortals tend to be very good units in the early game, but in the mid to late game, Immortals tend to not do so well. But against this heavy Marauder army, then I think LiquidTyler is just going for whatever he can right now to try to deal with it. We will see how that army does. Looks like no more Colossi have been produced. Looks like he is too scared. He knows that the Viking count for oGsEnsnare is up. He knows that that those things are going to be able to pick off his Colossi fairly easy. So it looks like he's going to be happy with just mainly Sentries, Zealots, and Immortals to try to deal with the forces. So it looks like he's going to be relying on very good splits there with those Sentries. And here comes the engagement, and very nice EMPs by oGsEnsnare right on those Sentries. Those Sentries instantly lose a lot of energy, meaning a lot less force fields here from oGsEnsnare, and it looks like this force is just going to crush the forces of LiquidTyler. Moving in now to the third of LiquidTyler, and there's the GG, meaning that we are going into Game 2 of LiquidTyler versus oGs. As I said before, this is the best of 3, so here we go, right into Game 2, right now, guys.